Hello, welcome to part 38 of Let's Play Pokémon Pearl. In the last part we fought our way through the 8th gym, defeated the leader and made him happy again, so I guess that's my good deed of the day done already. It's pretty good, it's quite early on in the day as well, so that's pretty handy. So yeah, now that we have Waterfall we can head up this surfing route. Though obviously we only really needed surf, but we're going to need Waterfall at the very end here, so... Yeah, straight away I used a max repel because I didn't want to encounter any wild Pokemon because I wanted this to go as smooth as possible, you know, efficiency, stuff like that. Unfortunately for me, these Pokemon in the water are badass. Look at that, level 45. I don't think any of my Pokemon are level 45. If I caught that Pokemon right there and right now, I would have had a Pokemon better than the rest of my squad. I mean, I do have a legendary Pokemon, so I guess that kind of, you know, evens everything out, so I'm still pretty badass. And yeah, you know how I was saying about how I feel really underleveled at this stage? Yeah, this is the bit that, this was like me running into the wall, really. This is the realisation that I definitely am underleveled. I have a look at this, I encounter level 45 Pokemon. I mean, I know water wild Pokemon are a bit random and inconsistent, but still, that's still crazy. You can see Bigger Bird's level 43, and I think all my Pokemon are level 43 at this point. So it's like, yeah, what's going on? I don't know at what point in the game I kind of, you know, slowed down and wasn't keeping up with the current levels, but I guess I just kicked ass at the last gym because they were quite high leveled as well, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe I should watch some other Pearl LPs and see how far they come. Although every time I watch another Pokemon LP, everyone's always a higher level than I am. Like I watched my Pokemon Y, and I was super low leveled for the Elite Four the second time, and I still managed to do it, so I don't know why everyone's always such a high level. So yeah, these are two of my... She doesn't actually have a Marill, she has a Zoo-Marill? Is that how you meant to say it? Oh god, they're so cool. I want to get that across how cool I think they are. Yeah. Oh. It's just a shame I had to kill it so badly with a Solar Beam. So yeah, Solar Beam actually did come in quite handy in the end. Although I don't actually use it that much. That's probably one of the only times you're actually going to see me use it and actually get a decent hit on something. Although it's part... Is that... No, a Zoo-Marill's just water type, isn't it? I'm thinking of Quagsire. That's part water and ground, so... So yeah, this is kind of weird. This is actually the first purely water route or surfing route we've come across. You know, the Pokemon games do love to use their surfing routes, and there's usually a couple or so in the game, but yeah, this is like the first and only one, really, which is kind of strange. I mean, it's strange because they're usually quite interesting, because water Pokemon, there's usually quite a large range of water Pokemon to fight, apart from in the first generation when it was just like Tentacle, Staryu, and that's about it. Goldeen. But yeah, that's quite a few. There's usually quite a big range, and yeah, it's true for this route as well. You will be fighting quite a lot of different Pokemon, and they're all water type, which is really cool. Which is, as you may know, I have complained about the lack of range of Pokemon in this game. So the fact that we come across this route and there's all these different Pokemon, I thought it was really cool. I did enjoy this route. I thought it was quite good. Even though I do feel underleveled and, you know, yeah, that whole thing, but, you know, I'll sort that out soon. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So yeah, one thing that's quite cool about Frosty Bush I haven't talked about is he has an attack, or no, it is a he. He has an attack called Ingrain, which means that every time you can't switch him out, but it will heal every single turn. So yeah, Frosty Bush is actually a good Pokemon in that way, because it means that A, it has hail, so it takes, or the other team is taking damage each turn, and B, it has Ingrain, so it's healing every turn. So it may take a while to actually take down a Pokemon, but you know, you do it in the end, and look at that, it's already healing quite a lot. Although these water Pokemon are really no trouble for Frosty Bush. You know, it's grass ice type, so I mean, Frosty Bush isn't strong against many types, but water is pretty much, you know, it has it down when it comes to water. So yeah, with that trainer done, we're going to keep heading along this route here. This part is just going to be this route, I'm afraid. There's and yeah, we have a double battle here, which I don't want to jinx myself, but I think that may be the last double battle we ever do, so you better appreciate it when it comes up, because here it is, here it comes, so here we go. Yeah, I think it is anyway. I'm trying to think to... Oh, I don't know, it definitely is. I'm going to say it now. If you're not sure about something, kids, you got to say definitely one way or the other. You don't want to mess around, alright? So yeah, we're going to take on these two Pokemon. Hey, you know the scoring hour double battles, they're not too tricky. Luckily I've got Plug Switch here. I put Plug Switch second just because I knew every Pokemon was going to be water Pokemon, so yeah, having Plug Switch with its Thunderbolt and now Thunder Attack, it's not going to have any troubles with anything ever in life, ever. So yeah, just this trainer alone has more variation than most routes, so... And yeah, I stupidly tried to use Thunder on Quagsire, but because it's water ground type, you know the story. We've all been here before, so... And yeah, this route does also reinforce my point that you shouldn't pick Piplup. There's no reason to pick Piplup unless you just love that Pokemon and will suffocate and die and not want to live in this world without one. Yeah, so... Because look at all these water Pokemon, you can catch most of these Pokemon we're fighting as well. Or... like an evolved form of it anyway. So that's so cool, the range of water Pokemon. I really do like that, because I wouldn't say water Pokemon was my favourite type of Pokemon, but it's my favourite like starter, so maybe it is actually my favourite type overall. I don't know, there's so many. I don't really have a favourite type, I just have favourite Pokemon, so it's pretty cool. And yes, with Quagsire hit Plug Switch with an Earthquake, which I was actually trying to find a way to teach one of my Pokemon Earthquake, because as you know from the last gym, I don't have a decent ground attack, and having at least one on one of your squad is useful, it's a good attack. So I was trying to find Earthquake, and I don't think I managed to find a way to get it not post game. I think you can get Earthquake post game, I just couldn't find a way to get it before, unless I... Yeah, guess what Pokemon I would have to catch to get Earthquake? That's right, Geodude. Geodude could learn it. I was like, screw you game, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna concede to your Geodude. I'm gonna use I'm gonna keep with my squad. Because yeah, as you know, at this point in the game, I am looking for a new Pokemon, because I do need to fill that 6th slot. Because yeah, I could use my legendary, but it's kind of a bit cheap, and it's a bit like, oh, I've seen people use their legendaries, and yeah, if you like that, that's cool. That's fine. I don't have anything against it. It's just personally for me, I prefer to not use them. I wouldn't say it's cheating or anything like that. It's just, some people like to use it and some people don't, and I don't like to use them. So yeah. So yeah, I would say leave a comment on who you think I should pick, but by the time this gets uploaded, I'll be so far, like, this LP will probably be done by the time this is uploaded, so I can't really do any comment, leave a comment on what you want things, which is kind of sad, but, I had to do it, so whatever. And yeah, this girl has a wing girl, so we know what to do here. I'm sending out Hot Fuzz, I'm not sure why. Oh yeah, that's right, I couldn't be bothered to go back and heal. That was going to take too much time. That's something you do more when you're in LP. I think I've mentioned this before, but you just don't go and heal. You just can't be bothered to go and heal, so you just kind of suffer through your weakened squad and hope for the best. It's almost screwed me over a couple of times actually, but I've been okay. For the most part, I've been okay. So yeah, this is the first time I've seen Sea King, and it's dead. So I hope that's not your favourite Pokemon, because I just killed it straight away, and I don't think we see it again actually, so my bad. So yeah, that's that, and there's this weird little walking bit where you can grab this Pokeball, which is for some reason frothing at the bottom. All the water is just shooting upwards around it. I have no idea how that works. And hey, we just got a Pearl, yeah? A Pokemon Pearl. We got a Pearl in forget it. It's whatever. So here's a sailor. You see a lot of sailors, but you don't see any boats in this game. It's that, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. There's a lot of sailors and no boats. It's tragic in a way. Maybe they're ex-sailors, and now they went off to war, but now nothing can quite thrill them as much, so they have to fight Pokemon. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. Yeah, if you ever noticed, there's not too much to really say about this route. You know, everyone knows how to take on water Pokemon, and you know, surfing is as cool as it ever was. I don't know why, at this point though, they didn't have specific sprites for surfing Pokemon though. That seems like something that would be a given for the 4th generation. Now we're on the DS, and you can actually render the sprites properly, unlike the Game Boy and to an extent the Game Boy Advance. Why always have the whale Pokemon? Why not actually ride on like my Hot Fuzz, or actually ride on a Blastoise? Because that would just be the coolest thing ever, right? It's something they didn't even do in Pokemon White. Like in Pokemon White, the graphics were better, and you know, were a lot better and looked better, but they still didn't do that. I don't know. I'm hoping by the time the 6th generation comes around, or maybe in Pokemon Grey, they will actually add in sprites, because that would just be the coolest thing, you know? That would just be so cool. Because yeah, in Heart Gold and Heart Silver, they actually do have your sprites following you. I'm sure you probably know that if you're a Pokemon fan, but yeah, they do have whatever Pokemon's first in your squad will follow you, or will be behind you and follow you, so why not kind of just tweak it a bit and have it so you can ride on the back? I don't know. I'm guessing it's because some Pokemon wouldn't look right, like a Squirtle compared to a Blastoise, the scaling would just be weird and wouldn't look right. I'm guessing that's why. But I don't know. I'm sure there's another good reason. Because look, it's just a whale, and it's just a bit plain, you know. So yeah, we are almost out of this route. We have to surf uphill, and we have one more battle. But yeah, my team's pretty beat up, so I'm gonna have to use Bigger Bird. I would have liked to use Plug Switch to get through it quicker, but you know, whatever. And yeah, has my Max Repel gone yet? Because yeah, I don't think it has. And yeah, there was another Pokemon battle there. One thing about repels is that they seem to be a lot better in this game than Pokemon White. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I had trouble in Pokemon White with Max Repels, because I would use one and then it would just go away way before, like super early, and then I would have to use like 10 or like so many Max Repels. But in this game it doesn't seem to be the case. They still seem to be quite balanced in you know, what a Max Repel is and how many steps it will actually repel from. So yeah, this is the last trainer I'm actually going to battle. There are 2 other trainers, but it's the same deal. They don't have any interesting Pokemon to fight, and I thought it would just kind of be a bit of a waste of time, because you've seen it all before, and I know I would rather get out this route than fight those trainers. I'm going to fight them off screen, but you're not missing out on anything. So yeah, this is the waterfall, so we're going to use waterfall, and I've been HonestTom23, and in the next part we are going to go through Victory Road. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.